I don't talk much with my parents or my family. We all prefer it that way. Lots of history I will not get into. I especially loathe my uncles and my brothers. I met my wife in nursing school. She's amazing, and we will have a great life together. I didn't want to invite my parents, and my wife was cool with that. We paid for everything ourselves, so they had no say in the matter. I did inform them that we were getting married. They begged us to come. I agreed on the condition that they couldn't tell anyone else, much less add to our guest list. I didn't trust them, so I had the printers make up a few test prints with the wrong place and time. I gave 2 of these to my parents. I told them we were hosting with an open bar. I reiterated that they weren't to tell anyone. I had one of my cousins whom I love babysit my parents on my wedding day. They tend to be late. I had him to lie to them and say that we were doing the pictures first, so they had to be dressed and ready to go early. He got them to the church on time. The ceremony went well. They did not embarrass themselves. We took our pictures and they begged me to tell them the actual location of the reception. I said that wasn't happening. They were welcome to either come as guests or leave. They left. My cousin drove them home. They tried to bribe him to tell them where the reception was. He says he laughed at them. None of those people know how to contact me, so no flying monkeys. But my mom and dad are upset because they got a lot of grief from people that they told about the wedding. I know it was stupid to even invite them. Please don't rub it in. It was hard to see them begging and not give in a little. So, am I the idiot for intentionally giving my parents an invitation with the wrong time and address for my wedding? Not the idiot. They literally proved you right. They can take a hike. It is not your responsibility to babysit the people that your parents invited. You did what you had to do to have your parents there, but still have a drama-less day. Planning ahead isn't revenge. It's self-preservation. You set boundaries to protect your wedding day from potential chaos, and that's commendable. Don't beat yourself up overextending the invitation. You handled it tactfully and clearly. Brilliant. Many more couples need to do it exactly that way. I wish I had lied about the time of my wedding, but only to get everyone there on time. I was 20 minutes late for the ceremony because of my mother. We were traveling in the same car, and she took forever to finish getting ready. Once we got there, we had to wait another 45 minutes to an hour for my mother and sister-in-law to arrive. I was fuming. It was an outdoor ceremony. It was hot and humid and about to rain, and my feet were killing me. The pastor also needed to deliver a sermon at his church, so we cut down on a lot, and the whole ceremony lasted maybe 15 minutes. If I knew then what I know now, I would have walked down the aisle without waiting for them. You absolutely did the right thing. Your parents screwed around and found out. I wish I had never invited my parents, who also paid for nothing, not even a wedding gift. Don't apologize for anything about your own day. The audacity of these people. Enjoy your marriage. You do owe your cousin about a lifetime supply of their drink of choice for helping you out like this. They're truly remarkable. My husband's cousin, Lena, fake name 27, and I, 29 female, are both pregnant. I'm due in late May while she's due in August. My baby will be my second child. I have a toddler son, and hers is her first. Lena and I aren't particularly close, and to be honest, I'm not fond of her. But since we're both pregnant, we've been talking more often than usual. It was during those conversations that she expressed wanting a baby girl. She specifically said she couldn't see herself raising a boy. Last month, Lena hosted a gender reveal party and found out she was having a son. She was visibly disappointed after finding out the gender of her baby. During the actual reveal, she threw on a fake smile but didn't keep it up for very long. For the rest of the party, Lena remained frustrated and was cold and short with everyone who tried to congratulate her. I don't know if Lena told anyone else that she wanted a girl, but her disappointment has gotten obvious. Since her party, she's been less excited about her pregnancy. We've been speaking less because she doesn't want to talk about her baby anymore. Her sadness has earned her some sympathy and support from my in-laws. My baby shower will take place this weekend. I'm having a girl, but my husband and I decided to wait until the birth to reveal that. As such, my in-laws have yet to be informed. Lena called a couple of days ago to ask about my baby's gender. She said she wouldn't come to the baby shower if I'm expecting a girl. When I asked why, she said she's still mourning her daughter and doesn't want to be reminded that she's not having a girl. She also said that since she'd shared her reveal with the family, it was only fair I told her. I reminded her that we weren't telling anyone until birth, but told her she was welcome to avoid the shower if she wasn't comfortable attending. Lena continued to pressure me to tell her, but I stood my ground. After some back and forth, she told me I was being inconsiderate, as I knew how devastated she'd been. She said she deserved to know if I was about to rub my happiness in her face. That's when I ran out of patience. I told Lena that if having a boy was that awful to her, she shouldn't have thrown herself a gender reveal in the first place. I said that she could stop celebrating her pregnancy if she wanted to, but she can't dictate what I do about mine. Lena is furious. She told my in-laws I was kicking her out of my baby shower. I told everyone the truth, but many are still on her side. They say it's rude of me to dismiss Lena's pain and that I should be more graceful towards her. My husband and brother-in-law are completely on my side. I don't think I was wrong to stand my ground, but I recognize that her feelings towards her baby are none of my business. I was frustrated and exhausted then, and I know I would have reacted differently otherwise. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. And Lena is really a TA to her child. The poor boy, being hated by his mother because of his gender? Yes, Lena could have been disappointed at her reveal, but by now she should be over it. She sounds childish. And I'm worried about the little boy, if he'll ever feel love, or if he'll always be the boy who ruined Lena's chances to have a firstborn daughter. Celebrate your baby shower the way you want and kick Lena out. You don't need this kind of negativity around your celebration. I always tell moms with serious gender preferences to not do a gender reveal party because pregnancy hormones are more fragile than grenades. The last thing the baby needs is to see video and pictures of you sobbing angrily over finding out that they were not what they thought they wanted. It's rude to dismiss Lena's pain? What the heck? You should never have children if pain is what you get by not getting your wish gender. When choosing to try for a baby, Lena knew there was a 50% chance she'd have a boy. If she was so determined that she didn't want to be a mother to a boy, she should have never gotten pregnant in the first place. There are plenty of little girls out there looking for a loving adoptive family. Regardless of her feelings on the matter, she doesn't get to be a big cow bag just because pure chance means you're expecting a girl. I, 28 male, have been married to my wife, 30, for 2 years now, and we've been together for 5. We were going to start trying for a baby, but that got put on hold and might not happen anymore. My wife and I both work, and we make about the same amount and work about the same number of hours. My wife and I originally had a chore system set up where we just rock, paper, scissored the calendar for our days off. I want to say we got a pretty fair cut, but she got more dishes days. I got more, if not all, the laundry. My wife hates washing dishes. She hates it so much that she sometimes shuts down and cries when she sees them in the sink. Before, when I caught her crying, I immediately went to help her, switch chores for the day, calm her down, and then it was fine. But because I was doing this, I noticed that she was crying on purpose, so I washed the dishes. I knew she was faking it because the second I took over, her tears stopped, and then she'd go do something fun that she liked without a care in the world, laughing and smiling. No wind down like before. Because of this, we changed our dishes to whoever makes the dish washes it, like children except cooking. Whoever cooked didn't have to wash the pots and pans because they put all the work in for the dinner. This was also her suggestion, which I was more than okay with. This was working out for a while until I noticed that my wife made many more dishes than me and just didn't want to wash them. I asked her when she was planning on washing dishes after I made dinner at her request, and she blew up on me, telling me quite literally to screw off. I did as she said, but left the dishes. The next day, she asked me why the dishes weren't done, and I told her because she didn't do them. This started a fight, and I washed them, but I was unhappy. I do most, if not all, the laundry because she just won't anymore, and I refuse to wear dirty clothes. The only thing she has to do with the laundry is to put it in the basket. That's it. We have a basket for darks, colors, and whites. She insists on her own basket for underwear and whatnot, so that's its own thing, and I hand wash it. She hasn't been putting her clothes in the basket. At first, I picked up all her clothes and washed them, because it was no big deal. But when I watched her take off her clothes and just leave them on the floor, because I always pick them up, I chose to leave her clothes there. She asked me why her clothes weren't done. I said because she hadn't put them away, and she blew up on me. Same story. Recently, this all came to a head with all the fighting. My wife has been getting lazier and lazier to push back because of our fights. And at first, I was doing all her chores on top of working, but I had a little moment of, why am I even doing this? And just stopped. The dishes were piled higher, her clothes were dirty, and crumbs were everywhere on her days. On my days, everything was spick and span. She decided to start buying more dishes and clothes to combat not doing her part. I cannot tell you how frustrated this made me. She was buying plastic spoons and forks, paper plates, Walmart t-shirts, and whatever other cheap alternative to the nice ones that she had at home. I just decided to start tossing them. When she noticed that I was tossing her cheap alternatives, she blew up at me again. And for the first time since we've been together, I raised my voice. My voice is deep and I'm a big man, so this scared her, which I regretted. I immediately lowered my tone and told her that she just wasn't doing her part and that she was wasting money buying useless things when all she had to do was clean up after herself and put clothes in a basket. She cried, and despite how many times I apologized, she told me that she didn't feel safe with me and that maybe we were better off divorcing. This shattered me. She's been cold with me, sleeping on the couch and playing domestic violence signs, videos out loud. It's such a low blow. The videos usually talk about yelling, throwing away items, control, emotional abuse, and signs that they're going to get physical. I don't think I'm wrong for what I did, but this is really wearing me down. And I've been getting some texts here and there from our families, calling me an idiot, an abuser for throwing away her things, and yelling at her, and that she needs to divorce me. The yelling was an accident. No one has wanted to hear what fully happened, and is making me feel alone and a bit crazy. My friends are either staying out of it, or are on her side if they're women. I've been losing friends. I feel like the idiot now. Am I the idiot? All I wanted was for her to clean up after herself. I'd never hurt her, and I've never yelled at her before, which I do regret. I didn't mean to scare her. I was just beyond frustrated because this has been building for months. I get that it was probably immature to throw away the disposables and that I should have just cleaned up after her, but I was just frustrated. Not the idiot. I'm sorry, but I think it's the other way around. You're the one in an abusive marriage, not her. She's the one who manipulates you and causes all the fights. She decided it's okay for you to do all the work around the house and is going out of her way to just not do anything. Admitting when a relationship is no longer good for you is okay. She's now in the phase of destroying your credibility so she can isolate you from family and friends. Start planning an escape now, including getting your finances in order. I watched my sister go through a marriage like this. Roles reversed, obviously, but you're absolutely right. The relationship is no longer good. Get your affairs in order and leave. And do not tell her you're planning to leave her. When you decide to divorce her, you need to get everything in order and speak to a lawyer before doing anything else. Do not threaten divorce. Do not tell her you're going to do it. Heck, even pretend things are okay while you're doing this. Don't put on a show. Just don't cut her out completely. Have her served and let that be the first time she finds out about it. If you think she's manipulative now, it'll only worsen. She will start a smear campaign, and it'll be worse than the one she's already got going on. People are quick to jump on the dude, especially a big-sounding man like yourself. They will take her side first, even with zero proof. My wife, 35, and I, 37 male, have had trouble conceiving naturally. We've been trying for about a year and have now started fertility consultation and are taking the first steps in treatment. This is not cheap. We're working out our finances to see what we can do. My good friend Amy, 36 female, was adopted as a baby. We've been friends for over 20 years. She has 2 biological children. As I explained to Amy the cost and steps we're taking, she cut me off and said, "Why are you going through with that? You should adopt. There are so many children that need a loving home. You and Terry would be incredible parents to a child needing a family. That's what you should do." I replied, "That's not really on our radar. We want biological children." She asked me why not. I explained that our plan was to see what options were available for fertility treatment and that we hadn't discussed adoption. She began preaching about how it's so much better to adopt because you're doing good in this world and I should have this conversation with Terry. I replied that I didn't want to adopt and that we were putting our resources into and focusing on having our biological children. She said that with adoption, they're still your kids and that I was wasting so much money on something that didn't even work most of the time. I replied, I think adoption is great. If you're the right person, it's the right decision. I am not the right person. I don't think I could love a child that wasn't mine biologically, and I would be afraid that I would never bond with that child or feel like a parent. She said, you say that now, but you don't understand. When you hold that baby in your arms for the first time, it changes you. Trust me, you'll come around. I replied, there's no guarantee we'd get a baby. Regardless, a human life isn't something you can hope you'll come around to. I would see that child as nothing but a consolation prize, and that's not fair to that child, Terry, or myself. Amy was hurt, said that adopted children are not a consolation prize, and hung up on me. We've not spoken in about a week. Since our conversation, she's been sharing a lot of gratitude posts on Facebook concerning adoption. I hate that I hurt her with my words, but I feel like when there's so much at stake, I owe it to everyone to be honest about what I'm feeling inside. Everyone is the idiot here. Your friend had good intentions but completely ignored your perspective to push her ideas onto you. It's not uncommon to exhaust your options for having a biological child. You're doing your due diligence to do what's best for your family. At the same time, you knew your friend was adopted, and consolation prize was an insensitive choice of words. There was no ill intent on either side of this conversation. Hug it out. You are the idiot. As a parent of 4 bio kids, you're overestimating biology. I worry you're going to discover quickly biology is not a cure-all for the things you speak about. If you only want to have children by biological option, you don't want to be a parent. You want to perpetuate your DNA. You're not that great that more of you are necessary in the world. You should have just changed the subject. You knew she was adopted. There was no way that sentence wasn't going to hurt her. I disagree. OP's not the idiot. I'm an adoptee. Adoption isn't for everyone. You know it's not the decision for you or Terry, and Amy should respect that. There is nothing wrong with you wanting to have biological children. I've spoken to adoptees whose parents were infertile, and they were treated like a consolation prize, which is incredibly unfair to them. This is why it's so important for people to be truly informed about adoption, because otherwise, harm is often being done, intentionally or not. Best of luck with growing your family, OP.